Okay, another series parallel circuit. So we have here, you know, we always work from the furthest point, breaking down the circuit, and then we can build it back up. So the first thing that we see is 400 ohms at an angle of -90 in parallel with 200. So we actually notate it right here. 400 at -90 in parallel with 200. And then we get that answer. We always notate this because then when we come back, we know what we're bringing back. It would be voltage because they're in parallel. Make sure these go in parentheses. So 400 at an angle of -90, shift reciprocal, plus 200 ohms. Shift reciprocal equals shift reciprocal. Maybe basically it's 1 divided by, and I got 178. Sorry about that. Okay, let me fix this. I just hit this. Okay, I got 178.86 ohms. That's wonderful. It fell again. That's okay. At an angle of -26.57, because after the 6 there was a 5. So we got that when we combined them together. So now we redraw everything except these two because we combine them. These two go in a box here. So when you redraw, it's 30 at 15. You got this 800 at 90. This stays here. We have this up here. This down here. We got 3K, 2K, and then we have a box for this answer. 178.86 at an angle of -26.57. That goes here. Okay? So basically all we did was combine these two, and then the answer goes here. Now what do we see? Series. So we have this, this, and this in series. How do we get Z total in a series circuit? We simply add it. So we have 3K plus 178.86 at an angle of -26.57 plus 2K equals. We simply just add these three up because they're in series. And what does a series circuit have in common? Current. 78.86 at an angle of -26.57. So I got, when I added them together, 5.161 K ohms at an angle of -0.89 degrees. So let's circle this. So all we did was combine these three now. So now we redraw this again. So we have 30 at an angle of 15. We have 800 at 90. We have this capacitor still we haven't done anything with. And now we added all three of these, so these three components, which is that, goes in a box. 5.161 K at an angle of -0.89. Okay, what do we see now? We see that these two are in parallel. So let's note that 500 angle of negative 90 in parallel with 5.161K at an angle of negative 0.89 degrees. You write that answer down. Make sure you put it all in parentheses. 500 at negative 90, shift reciprocal, plus, open parentheses, 5.161K at an angle of negative 0.89. Reciprocal equals 1 divided by that 2. So you should have gotten 496.93 ohms at an angle of negative 84.48. Let's circle that. Okay, that's what we have so far. Ran out of paper, we have to redraw it one more time. We have to just add these together. So this answer plus this will be in series. So that's on the next page. And that's a Norton circuit. That's a Thevenin. Okay, so last time we redraw, it's 30 at 15. We have 800 at 90, and then we have this answer, 496.93 ohms at an angle of negative 84.48. Let's make sure that's right. 84, okay, 48. So now at this point we can get Z total, the voltage here and here, and I total. Once this circuit makes sense, we can bring it back. So let's do that. So Z total, in a series circuit, we simply add them up. So we have 800 at an angle of 90 plus 496.93 at an angle of negative 84.48. So Z total is 309.06 ohms at an angle of 81.10. I total, how do we get I total? Well, it's 30 at 15 divided by Z total to get I total. So when I take 30 at an angle of 15 divided by that Z total, I get this, right? You have to move the decimal place over 3. So it's 97.07 milliamps at an angle of negative 66.10. Okay, I'm going to save that current in my calculator. So now we have to get this voltage and this voltage. We can either use the voltage divider rule, or we can use this current times 800, this current times this to get their voltages. Their voltages must add up to 30 at 15. So let's get their voltages times 800 at an angle of 90. So for this one, I have 77.65 at an angle of 2390. And I know you're saying, well, how does 77 add up? Well, the angles make a difference. Alpha Z times 496.93 at an angle of negative 84.48. 48.24 at an angle of negative 150.58. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two numbers together and make sure that it adds up to 30 at 15, because these look a little crazy. So that one plus 77.65 at an angle of 2390.